A fun fact or a funny story about myself. A fun fact or a funny story about myself. Okay. Wait, I don't know if I should tell that one. That one's kind of crazy. A fun fact or a funny story. I really want to tell a funny story, but I don't know where to begin. I'm born and raised in Philly, but I didn't have a cheesesteak until I was like 21, 22. Now all of a sudden, I'm just this big foodie. Like my entire family jokes about it to me. Like they can't believe when I was younger, I was such a picky eater. I literally couldn't stand the smell of cheesesteaks when I was a kid. I didn't have a burger until I was like 18. People think I'm like vegetarian sometimes when I tell that story. Like, oh, is you like vegan or vegetarian? Nah, I just wasn't interested. Don't bid too bad about that. I know anybody from Philly gonna be like, you ain't have a cheesesteak until you was 22 or something. Listen, I eat them now. It's all good.
If the shoe was on the other foot, I still would do the most stepping. I'm not the smartest, I'm the most tested. I'm not the richest, I'm the most blessed. I'm not the strongest, I'm the least worried, least stressing, but yet the most invested.
Most human is like, to me, it's layers to it, but I think the most like prominent one is when I think about how I want the song to feel to other people. I feel like it's like a war cry. Like it's one of them songs like, you should be, this one of them ones I feel like, I imagine people like looking in the mirror and singing it to themselves to like give themselves that boost. And you know, it's about like embracing the aspects about, you know, life that most people probably find mundane or just look past as trivial and making them more important, if that makes sense. It's about romanticizing life, really. So that's why it's called Most Human, because a lot of the times I think we forget that just being here and living our human experience is profound. I feel like in the record, I make space for those things to like shine and just give you a different perspective on how the smaller things can really be monumental. What inspired me to write this song? I would say just, you know, life experience for the most part. Most of my music is just pulled from real life experience. I think I was probably writing lyrics in that flow and cadence for a bit, but I didn't have anything to root it to yet. Like I'm always pulling from different parts, whether it be like my journal, my notes app, or just like in my head. But I remember the thing that triggered the song's concept to like come full circle was somebody asking me advice about a situation they were going through, and they asked me specifically, what would you do if you were in my shoes? And it was hard for me to put myself there, because if I was in their shoes, I would still be doing my own thing, you know what I mean? Everyone has their own perspective, so it's hard to put yourself in somebody else's shoes sometimes, because regardless, you're gonna do your thing, and everything you've been through, whether it be good or bad, was tailor-made for you to be the person you are, and it's important to hold on tight to that. So when they asked me what would I do if they were in their shoes, like the first line that came to my head was, I would still step, you know what I mean? So that's where the opening line comes from. If the shoe was on the other foot, I still would do the most stepping. Freddie Foolay is what I go by. My first name is Frederick, so that's where Freddie came from. And Foolay came from, it's Detroit slang, and I stumbled upon it because in high school I was a really big Sean fan. Big Sean's still dope, but I was like a really big fan back then. And he had this thing on Facebook called the Dictionary, and it was basically like a dictionary of Detroit slang that he uses, and in it was Foolay. And it basically, from what I got from it, it meant like outrageous or dope. And this was around the time where everybody on Facebook and stuff like that had too dope or dope this or dopest in their name on Facebook, and I just was tired of it. Like, it was played out to me, and I was trying to figure out how I could make that fresh, because I felt like we needed a new word or a new way to say dope, and Foolay stuck for me. So Freddie Foolay just came to me from that point on, and it had a ring to it to me, and it stuck once I updated my Facebook to Freddie Foolay, and people would ask me like what I go by, and I would give them that, and it just stuck since then. How long did it take me to write the song? That's always a hard question for me. I don't really write in a linear style or timeline. My timeline isn't just straight on. So I might have something that I've written, who knows, like 6 months ago that I never used, and then I might stumble upon new lyrics or a new idea like months later. Also, I'm really hands-on when it comes to like production, so composing the production and everything, like the beat, I was right in the studio when that happened, and I don't think I had the meat and cheese of the song until the production was done. So you could say it took months, but when it actually came down to putting all the pieces together, it was fairly quick. You know, once I had the concept together, a lot of the ideas and the lyrics kind of were already written. It's one of those things where it just wrote itself almost. Once all the pieces were in play, I'm really big on letting things fall into place, being patient, and not getting too frustrated when things don't hit me immediately, because that's just a part of my process. So I would say, if I gave it an average, anywhere between 2 months to 2 weeks, something like that. 2 weeks to 2 months. My specific target audience and who was the song for? That's a good question. I think it's for humans. I think that's why I want it to be so straightforward and simple with the title, and also the concept and the message in the song. I think it's for anyone that identifies as a human, anyone that's faced any kind of adversity. I think it's for anyone that feels like at any point they've been misunderstood or just down. It's supposed to make you feel strong, like anybody that needs to feel strong and powerful and empowered. My favorite bar in the song would have to be, I'm designed to attract, no designation between good and bad, it all come to me naturally. I accept it happily, no matter what's happening. My life's many genres, whether comedy or drama, it's a cinematic masterpiece. I think it's my favorite because it really just embodies how I try to see life and go about life, and how I transmute and manifest things to go from negative to positive. I think with a mindset like that, you can make anything bad in your life, quote unquote, good. And it has layers to it too. Alright, y'all, my name is Freddie Foolay, and alright, I'm gonna do it again. What's going on, y'all? It's Freddie Foolay, and you watching Behind the Bars with IT. That one was okay. I'm gonna do it again. Yo, what's good, everybody? Freddie Foolay, and you're watching Behind the Bars with IT. Wheel of Fortune out everywhere. Go get you a Sonic novel, especially if you love lyrics. That's for you. Yeah. Follow me everywhere. All that good stuff. Peace.
It's IT, baby.